everyone, it's Mrs. Slauson, and here is your video answer key for your first attempt on the ICANN 2.5. Our job is to get these graphed functions into their proper vertex form. So again, in the beginning of the semester, you were given an equation, and then we taught you how to graph, whether it was absolute value or a quadratic or a cubic. But now what's going to happen is we're giving you the graphed equation and the graphed function, and you're going to write the equation for it. So you need to identify two important points. So for each shape, you need to identify the vertex. The vertex in a quadratic and a parabola is pretty simple. It's either your max or your min. So that one has a point of -3, -5, and that will become your h and k. And then you need one other additional point. And so the point that they marked with over here is going to be your best option. And that is going to be, let me just take a look, -3,7. And that will be x and y. Now, in a cubic shape, the vertex is kind of in this flat area. So we went ahead and marked this point for you. It's 4, -4. And then you'll need one other point. We'll use this one. And that will be your x and y, and that is 5, 0. So I had a lot of 0, 5s there when I was checking these, but this one's 5, 0. So what we're going to do is take these four numbers and we're going to put them in here. So everything's going to get a number except for a, and let's start with this one. So it's going to go y equals, so 7 equals. A is what we'll be doing some math to figure out, and then we'll do x minus h. So we'll do -3, subtract, whoops, and I messed up here, that's a +3. -3 minus 3. And then it's a quadratic, so I'll square that. And then I'll add my k, which is going to be the -5. So the way we did this in our classes is we do have to solve for a. There is one a, so we'll be isolating a. And all of the classes agreed, let's just get rid of this number. So we added the 5 over. And when we did that, that left us with this. And when I add 5 to 7, I get 12. And now what we want to do is we do want to get a alone. So we want to get this cleaned up. I don't need to leave this as messy as it is. So if I have -3 and I subtract 3, that's -6. And then you can take that -6 and square it, which is going to give you 36. And now to solve for a, we got to move the 36 over by dividing it. So I divide here, and then a turns out to be 12 over 36. You can turn it into the decimal. You could also simplify it into its fraction, but you could also leave it as 12 over 36. And now I'm going to write my answer. So remember, when we want to graph an equation, we need our a, h, and k. So those are the only numbers I want in the equation. I'll leave x and y as x and y. So it's going to go y equals a. Use this, use its decimal version, which is 0.33. And then I'm going to do x minus h, so -3. I'm going to square it, and then I'm going to add my k. Now, if you went to Desmos and typed this in, you would see this graph. So now we're going to do the same thing, but instead of a squared, we're going to use a cube. So I'll do y, which I'll do 0 equals. A will be doing the math to figure that out. X minus h, so 5 minus 4, cubed this time, plus my k, so I'll put plus my -4. Same steps. I'm going to add the 4 over. And then to get a alone, I want to move this, but let's get this cleaned up. 5 take away 4 is 1, and then when you take 1 and you cube it, you still get 1. And now to get a alone, you can just divide by 1, and so your a is a +4. And now we can write our equation. Y equals, we need an a, so that would be a stretch of 4, x minus our h value, so -4, cubed this time, and then our k, so plus, or you could do -4, but plus -4. And if you graph that in Desmos, you would also see this shape. And that is your first attempt on ICANN 2.5.